Hello, and welcome to the B.A.S.S, Big and Small Screens. Today, I would like to talk to you about this wonderful little movie, Wristcutters, a love story. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to say this movie deals with suicide. So, any of you out there who don't like that topic, who find it uncomfortable, or anything like that, this is probably not a movie that you will enjoy. Um, to anyone else, I will say, even to those people who aren't a fan of talking about it, I will say this movie does deal with it does deal with suicide in a semi-respectable manner. Now, I say semi-respectable because technically this movie is a comedy, and in a comedy, you're going to run into you're going to run into making light of material that some people may think that you can't make fun of. You can't make light of this because this is a serious matter. But I said semi-respectable too, because it does make light of some aspects of suicide and whatnot. It does play certain things up for laughs, but the relationships, the thoughts that go through the characters' heads, um, the way the characters in this progress along a certain path. It does deal with that respectively, or respectfully, I should say. It does. It doesn't poke fun at the stuff that should be serious. We'll say. This is starring Patrick Fugit, Shannon Sossamon, Shea Wiggum, John Hawkes, and Tom Waits. And basically, the story it's kind of a very dry comedy, very deadpan in its humor, um, and very much um, almost British, I'll say. But it's one of those. It's set up like a comedy, but it's set up like a slice of life as well, almost, which is kind of a contradiction in terms considering what we're going to talk about. So, what's it about? Well, our main character is distraught over breaking up with his girlfriend, and he decides to end it all. It basically starts with him. The first scene in the movie, I'll spoil that part. The very first scene in the movie has our main guy here. Um, Shows him in his room, and it is a filthy mess. There's clothes everywhere. It's all disorganized, everything. And it shows him in his room, and he's looking very much, um, very out of it, very depressed. And then he gets up and he starts cleaning the place, and he cleans it from top to bottom, literally top to bottom. It is immaculate when he is finished. And then he kills himself um, by and I'm going to say it so yeah, any of you who are watching and don't want to hear about this sort of stuff, please, by all means, go to another video. But if you're okay with continuing, we will continue. But yes, he basically kills himself by cutting his wrists, hence the name, in the bathtub. And what happens is, instead of dying, instead of everything ending, he ends up waking up in what looks like the world, the normal everyday world to him. He's there, and now there's other people there, a whole lot of people there who have killed themselves, and life just continues. There's no ending, there's no white light, there's no heaven. It's just life after death is much like life before death. You live, you have a job that you go to earn money to survive, and it just keeps going on. And that's where the deadpan humor really comes in, because they make life after death seem like life before death, and it's absurd in how they go about it, but they play it very straight, very deadpan, which I did like. I did like this movie quite a lot. And this girl here, the other main character, is trying to look for the people in charge of this whole afterlife to explain to them that there's been a mistake. She didn't kill herself, so she shouldn't be here. And pretty much most of the movie deals with them meeting up with her, his buddy, who I believe maybe Shea Wiggum or John Hawkes perhaps, meet up and they start going on this journey to find the people in charge. And other strange things happens, like the car that they have to drive around in seems to have a black hole underneath the passenger seat. Anything that gets dropped down there, it never comes back. It just gets sucked into the black hole and is gone forever. And they keep showing scenes of this, of these sunglasses that they lost or a candy bar, just floating around in this void. And it's very strange. It is very strange and unusual. But most of all, Wristcutters, a love story, because that's what it is. It is a love story. It is about this guy and this girl meeting in the afterlife and over the course of it all falling in love with each other. And that there can still be hope even when it seems like there's no hope. There's a very positive message to this whole story, despite its subject matter. And that's why I say they deal with it in a semi-respectable manner, because it is a comedy, but it is very hopeful. It has that message of hope, that message of, you know, there it's not all bad. There can be good even in bad things, in bad places. And it's just an amazing little video, uh, amazing little show. I would highly recommend this to anyone. It's only 88 minutes long, not a very long movie, about an hour and a half of your time, and it has some interesting stuff. Yeah, where's it here? Yes, he ends up discovering that his ex-girlfriend also offed herself, sets out on a road trip with his Russian rocker friend to find her. And the journey takes him through absurd purgatory where they discover that being dead doesn't mean you have to stop living. You see what I mean? It's a very positive message to a movie all about people who've committed suicide. I mean, what more can I say about it? It's a little dark, it's a little twisted, but it's funny, it's heartwarming. It makes me when I watched it, I felt um, rejuvenated at the end. I felt good. I didn't feel like I was brought down by the movie. I was lifted up, and I think any of you who haven't seen it, you should definitely have a look for it. I had to look around in some of the used bins at pawn shops and whatnot to find this one. There's tape all on the side of it, on the side of my case, because I could only find it on the cheap. But yes, check it out. Wristcutters, a love story. And I'll see you next week.